Hi, I'm James E. to the E Foundation. Welcome to the Chess Files. The answers are out there. But what's today's question? Today's question is, how do you get a scholastic competition started in your community? Wherever you are, whatever state you're in, wherever you find yourself with other scholastic communities around you, how are you going to go about competing with them, setting up competitions? Because, when you learn to play chess, you want to play somebody else. And sometimes you're stuck playing the same guy over and over, the same person over and over, and you want to play somebody new. So I've asked Rob Mitchell to come on and tell me how he's getting to get chess competition started where he is. So Rob, thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Jim. Thanks. I sure appreciate you having me on.
It's my pleasure. And why don't you tell me, like, where did you grow up? Where are you now? How'd you get started playing in chess?
Oh, my word. I tell everybody I'm a retail gypsy. My dad was in the Air Force, then he went into work in retail with W.T. Grant, Zayers, the Kroger Company, service merchandise. So it
You
was
moved around.
Yeah, we moved around a lot.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
currently I live in Rutherford County, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is just about 35 miles south of Nashville.
Okay.
That may be a little bit of the accent that you hear.
Yeah,
But
and I got your picture though.
I have lived in Ohio, in Maryland, in Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, West Virginia, Florida, and I think that's it.
And but most of the time or all of the time were you playing chess?
Been playing chess my entire life, as long as I can remember.
Okay.
I remember I first saw chess. My dad was playing chess with a neighbor down the street, and the neighbor's son was my best friend at the time in Jacksonville, Florida. And we would watch our parents play, our dads play, and then the pieces that were left over, we'd try to set up our own game on the side and try to follow the moves that they made. So
Uh-huh.
it kind of grew out of that. Then when our parents weren't playing, my friend and I would play chess.
And so now you're in part of Tennessee, just south of Nashville, and you're trying to get not just your kids to play chess, but other kids to play chess.
Right.
How's it going?
Well, I mean, we're getting there. We will get there. I don't take no for an answer.
Okay, let me just put a little shout out to Promoting Pawns because that's your organization, right?
Right.
Okay.
Promoting Pawns is our organization here. We do have a website, and I apologize for the way the website looks. I don't do websites. So we have one. It doesn't do much, but it just sits there. As soon as somebody wants to sign on and help me with that, I'm happy to accept any help.
Okay, that the challenge has been set down. The gauntlet's been tossed. Is anyone going to help Rob on this? Promoting Pawns website. Okay, Rob. So you're trying to get kids to play chess, and you got a website, but that's not working too well. What is working well for you?
Well, what's working? I'm lucky. I'm an elected official. So I have a little bit of a bully pulpit to insert what I think is the right thing to do before people, and they kind of have to listen. They don't have to listen, but they have to pretend to. So it's kind of like your kids. They
I got
pretend
you.
to
I
listen,
got
they not really be
you.
listening, but they pretend to. So
I do a lot of pretending, so I understand.
so what we did a while back after watching, I'll give a shout out to a movie
Sorry.
Carlo Berkowitz did with movies called Critical Thinking.
Yes,
Great movie.
great movie.
It kind of inspired me to get re-energized and push forward with this because I believe there is a value in teaching critical thinking, conflict resolution skills. There's
Yeah.
so much going on in our world today that we complain about when the real issue is What is it about a child or any individual that thinks the way to resolve a problem is to pick up a gun and shoot somebody, or to take a knife and stab somebody, or you don't like what somebody said to you at the McDonald's lunch counter, so it's appropriate to take whatever's there and throw and hit the person and try to harm them. What whatever went wrong in our society and in our education that somehow we've allowed this to become acceptable behavior? And I was telling my wife about it. She says, "Well, do something." I said, "All right, I'm going to do something." So we approached the school board. We've approached the state legislature. I've worked with Jerry Nash from FIDE on trying
Oh
to
yeah,
his
yeah.
program a grant done through the state of Tennessee to have his program to teach teachers how to integrate chess into their regular curriculum involved. We haven't, then COVID hit. So
Oh great, yeah. That
COVID hit and everybody, and
yeah.
then we had the mass shooting in Nashville at the school, the Covenant shooting, right about the time a lot of this was going into committee. So everything got shifted toward, well, we have to make our schools safe, we have to protect, and every available funding just evaporated.
Dried up,
I
right?
understand it. I get it. You
We
know,
do understand. It just, sometimes the luck is timing.
it
Timing is
is.
everything. Mm.
Timing is pretty much everything in this world. If it's the right time, it's going to happen. If
Right.
it's the wrong time for it, it doesn't matter how impassioned you are. You're just running your head against a wall.
We've
But
had Jerry Nash on the show, and he's doing a good program, so he's a good guy for you to hook up with. So,
he is.
yeah,
Jerry is super. He's
yeah.
solid, and he's just right down the street from us.
Oh,
He's 50 miles away.
uh huh,
So
yeah,
I keep telling people in Nashville, I said, how blessed are we that the person that's in charge of this internationally is just right next door?
yes,
So um, knowing that funding was going to be an issue, and working with schools and working with governments, I know that's the first thing to say no is we don't have the money. So I decided I'll try to raise some money for the sets and for the equipment. So I reached out to Marcus Lemonis. Big shout out to Marcus. He gave us $5,000. He's got a great heart for doing the right thing. Watch his shows on TV, please.
okay.
This is not a paid endorsement. He's just a good guy. So
Marcus, and what was the last name?
Lemonis. He
Lamona.
does the TV show The Prophet
Okay,
on CNBC, and he has another show called The Renovator that's on HGTV. And he's also the CEO of Camping World.
all right.
So,
Shout
you know,
out to
he's
Marcus.
he's a solid individual that believes in doing what's right for the community. And obviously, when I wrote to him and I said what my goal is, what my vision is to create a chess program for school to teach critical thinking and life skills with chess through the game of chess to our students. Getting it into the schools is primary. How it gets there in what form, we just need to get it in. We need to get it in. So I had with Marcus's $5,000, I had another little mini tournament between elected officials to invite them in,
Oh,
to give
cool.
them an opportunity to meet with Jerry and to play chess with one another. Some children came up from an hour and a half away in Chattanooga. They came up from the Kingship Chess Academy, which is a program that Chattanooga has. The children were there. They talked to the elected officials, played chess with some of the elected officials, talked with them about how chess had helped them so that they could get the vision of what it was that we were trying to accomplish. We
Right.
raised $1,000 with that. So now we're up to over $6,000. My next goal is to get the students enthused about playing. So I'm going to host a high school chess championship for Rutherford County.
All right.
And I'm sending out an invitation to all of the schools saying on a certain date, we're going to meet at a location. that we still haven't worked out. I'm trying to work with a local university to see if they'll assist us. If not, I'll just rent a conference hall somewhere. I've already bought the boards. I've got a source for all of the clocks. It won't take that many. If you got 12 high schools, you have 6 clocks. You know, and we'll just have a tournament between whoever the school selects to be their champion. Now, once it gets there, I don't care who the champion is that they select.
Right.
That's up to the schools
Yeah.
to determine. All right, we want to send somebody from our high school to represent us. Who wants? They could say sign up, and we're going to pick somebody, or
Yeah.
they can say, hey, after school one day, we're going to have a chess tournament. Whoever wins will be our representative.
That's what we did back in my high school. We just had a tournament, and that was our team, the guys who finished at the top. And
Yeah,
yeah, and you got in the order. The highest you scored, then that's the board order.
that's it. That's it. And once everybody gets out there to play, I'll give them their team tournaments, and I'll give the individuals their personal tournaments, and then we'll send information out to the local news media and say these are the chess champions, and try to create a buzz in the community about it and create a sense of pride inside of that school where they say, hey, that school's not going to beat us again.
You
I
got
made us.
that. You
Yeah,
got that right. Because
yeah,
everybody wants a champion. And be called the champion, and especially if you got one town over, you got this high school that you're competing with and everything, and they're beating you in chess. Wait a minute, let's start a chess program.
we beat them in football, we beat them in baseball.
Yeah,
They beat us in chess. Yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
stomped us
That
in chess.
stings, by the way.
Yeah. No, that's because the jocks go to this school and the really smart
Smart
kids
people
go to
go to
this one.
our school.
But there's a line in the movie Critical Thinking that chess is a great equalizer, and it really is. And I think the
I agree.
opportunity lies in some of the underfunded schools or the schools where people are really struggling, the parents are struggling. This is an activity that their children can excel in
You're so
that
right.
requires very, very minimal equipment.
It's inexpensive compared to other sports and other activities.
Yeah.
It's
You don't ever
inexpensive to get
have to worry
started.
about your kid coming home with a torn ACL after playing a game of chess.
It's the one sport that I've been participating in all my life, and I have not yet been injured.
Little carpal
My
tunnel
ego
was
has been
swimming that
bruised. My ego has been bruised, but that's it.
No, a
No,
chess player doesn't have egos, do we?
but not only are you saying something, you're saying something that's critical. We've been finding this out all across the United States that in these sometimes we refer to them as Title I schools. That
Mhm.
and starting chess programs in there makes a big difference because we don't tell these kids that they're smart if they can play chess, but they think that. They think that when they start to learn how to play chess, their self-esteem grows. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
see it in their eyes. And this is directly transferable back into the classroom. If they think they can play chess, then maybe math tables aren't so hard.
That's right.
And
Well,
so what you're doing is giving a gift to these children.
well,
And so
we've, Jim, I'm 65. I know that what I have left, I want to leave this world a better place than I found it. And the only way that I think I could be successful at that is if I create a system where, if it's carried on, children will have a way to be better prepared to face the challenges that they're going to have. There are challenges that you and I had growing up that our parents and grandparents never even considered. And as fast as change is coming in the world today, there are situations that our grandkids and our great grandkids are going to be faced with that we don't have a concept
right.
for. But if we can't tell them what they're going to be faced with or how to address it. But if we can give them the tools to how to think
The
through the
skill set.
process.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I've been preaching this for a long time. Chess gives you the ability to plan ahead, to think still and to sit still and think, but to plan ahead, to postpone immediate gratification, and these things that we give them through playing chess, they think they're at recess, but they're actually learning these skills. And
Hmm.
these skills are directly translatable not only into the classroom, but into life itself.
That's
And
right.
so, being able to plan is not a skill that we can teach very easily in the normal course of events during the schools. But in chess, it's critical. If you're
It,
going to get
it,
good at chess, you have to be able to plan. You have to anticipate what your opponent's response is going to be. All
and you,
these things,
that's it. You have to ask, why did they make that move?
right?
They
So
just
it's not
didn't make
just
it.
what you want to do, it's anticipating what their response is going to be.
That's right.
Because in life, you don't get to do what you want to do all the time.
Ever, unless it's a mistake.
And the sooner we learn that, the better, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're giving a gift, and the gift of that lasts a lifetime. Because as a child, it's an educational tool. As an adult, it's a pleasant pastime. And when you get to my age, 66, when you're playing chess, you're not worried about the doctor's bill or appointment that's coming up.
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
everything else is just so far away. It's just the chess game. So it's a solace in older age too. So I think it lasts our whole life, and you and I are living testaments to that.
Well,
So,
I really appreciate the work that you do. Uh,
thank
it's
you,
needed. It's necessary. It's underappreciated in
thank you.
reality. But but that's not why you do it.
No,
You
and
don't do it for the recognition. You do it because it's the right thing.
it's the right thing. And what you're doing is trying to make it succeed, as so that after you're gone, it's still running. And I
That's it.
I heard that in your voice, and that is so. I tip my hat to you for that, because it's not about Rob Mitchell. You're doing something that you want to last, and it's for the kids, and it's for society. I mean, we're not getting too grandiose here. If we can
No.
make an incremental change to society, that's a life well lived.
Well, uh, I live in the Bible Belt, so this is this is my little mantra with what I believe. I believe that the good Lord, the higher power, put us here to take care of one another. Just like we would, if we leave our kids at home and we have to go off to the store to get something and say, guys, what I need you to do, vacuum, do the dishes, and fold the sheets, and take care of each other. Just don't tear the place up. And I go away, and you got the three kids. One says, "Well, we need to do the sheets first, and then we need to vacuum, and I don't remember what
Then
else
do the dishes.
to do, but we need to do that." And then another one says, "Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. It
Yeah.
makes more sense to do it this way." And then you have another one says, "Well, they told us to do it in exactly this order, and if we
Uh-huh.
don't do it in that particular order, you're wrong." And,
Uh-huh.
and they spend the whole day fighting with each
Arguing
other,
instead of doing. Yes.
arguing, and you get back, and the house is a mess, and the kids are mad at each other.
Yep.
You think, guys, just take care of stuff. I don't really care what order it's done in,
Yeah.
but I really don't want you hurting one another
Yeah.
because I love you all.
Right.
Please, I don't want you to kill one another.
Right.
I gave you this house to live in. Just take care of each other.
Yeah.
There's nothing in this world that we can't solve if we talk.
I so agree with you. And it's such a lost art, and our congressmen aren't always sending the best of examples.
Can we
Um,
get them to play chess?
I know.
I mean,
Let's start a Congress
seriously.
chess tournament. I
I mean,
think
I'm
that'd go a
serious
long
as a
way,
heart
huh?
attack with that. Let's get them to play chess. Let's
Yeah.
teach them to play chess.
Yeah.
Make them sit down and play a game of chess with one another. I think if they would just talk to each other and interact over a chessboard, they would see that yeah,
There's not that much that divides us, and the way that we're at such polar opposites and such extremes is mind boggling to me, because when you sit down and talk to people, you find out how much more in common you have.
Hmm.
than the differences that you have. There's so much more that unites us than divides us. And as long
Absolutely.
as we're not talking to each other, we can pretend these divisions are greater than they are. So it doesn't matter if I live in California, if you live in Tennessee, if we're trying to do the same thing about handing a better world to the children that follow us than the one that we found, then we have a lot more in common than the differences between us. Whether or not you wear a hat or I do, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So what do you think besides the championships, which is a great idea? Totally think that that's a fantastic way to go about it. Um, the other thing would be fundraising, is what I've been hearing in your voice. That's the biggest challenge. Am
It
I correct
is.
in saying that? Yeah.
It is, and I've got the money that comes in right now. I'm taking a hit out of my own pocket because
Yep.
I haven't set up a nonprofit. But I've arranged for folks, if they want it, just to give the money directly to the county, and then it goes into a secured fund that can only be used for chess in education.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I don't get. There's no profit involved in this,
Right.
and I
Right.
think that's a lot of times there's there's healthy skepticism when somebody, and I don't fault folks that make their living through chess. I don't.
Of
I
course not.
really
Yeah.
don't.
I feel the same way. Right.
You know, but when you're going to foundations and you say, look, Ford Foundation, this is how we're going to make the world a better world by doing this. I will send the money to my personal foundation that I'm the king of.
Right.
They're going to say, oh, you just want to fund the Rob Fund.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know how we get past that, Jim. I really don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
politics,
I think
politics
you
ruins
keep
a lot
doing
of
what you're
things.
doing, and your people are going to catch on. And I might be just overly optimistic about this, but I think people will see the authenticity in what you're doing, and over time, people will realize, hey, this guy is not lining his own pockets. Not that just lets you line your own pockets, but there are people that are out there to make a living at chess, and there are people that are in it for the typical not-for-profit motivations.
Right.
And these are the organizations that we want people to support, because every dollar that you give to these organizations goes directly to the programs that you're trying to fund, rather than to somebody's rent or something like that.
That's it.
And
Um, I mean, I would love for our cities to become kind of like New York, like San Francisco, where you have chess sets out in public, where your picnic tables have chess sets on them. So that when people get together, they can sit down, they can pull out their board, they can pull out the clock, they got the thing right there. They can play a game of chess over lunch.
yeah, yeah,
That's what's missing. We have a chess lunch one day a month at a little Mexican restaurant. They give us a back room.
uh-huh.
We come in, we set up. People have an opportunity to stomp me in chess, which is
So
which
that's a
is great. They're
start.
mad at me because of their property assessments, so
Yeah.
they can come and they can stomp me in a game of chess. Yeah, yeah. You got my value wrong. Ouch. You feel better now?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but you got to start somewhere. And so I'm really proud of you. I think you're doing the right thing for the right reasons. I'm glad I had you on the show. Rob, is there something that I haven't asked you about that I should have or forgotten to? Is there something you want to leave the viewers with for your before I say goodbye to you?
Just you know, we'd love to have any support that anyone is willing to give. Uh, Chess sets. My goal is to provide at least 10 chess sets to every high school in Rutherford County and one demonstration board, so they will have the equipment if they want to start a club or they want to have a chess team, that they have the equipment to do that so that they can be successful. If you want to send money, you can send money to Promoting Pawns to at in care of Rob Mitchell, Rutherford County Property Assessor's Office, and I'll make sure that it gets right over, make it out to Promoting Pawns for Rutherford County for chess. I'll take it right over to the finance office. It doesn't go into my bank account, doesn't go into my pocket. It goes straight into the county funds to be used to help our kids. Uh, and I love to play anybody online with a game of chess. I don't play well, but I'm always up. I'm always up to learn.
All right, Rob. Thanks again. I really appreciate your efforts, and I'm going to say goodbye to you now.
Thank you so much,
But
Jim.
the best of luck to you.
Thank you, my friend.
All right. Bye bye. Okay, that was Rob Mitchell promoting pawns. And I was answering the question today. Today's question was, how do you start a program, a chess program in your community? And Rob gave you some good advice, I think. One is start a championship. Everybody wants to be a champion, and every school wants to have a champion. So this is a great idea, and it's the answer for the chess files. The answers are out there. Today's answer is start that program. Get out there and do it. You can do it. Rob did it. I've done it. You can do it. So thank you very much. And this is it for the chess files.